not know who I am Christy. I am a day trader, and I also help create educational content for the Moving Average Discord as well as the Perfect Entry Discord. If you are not a member of those and would like to be, they are linked below in my description. Today's video is spotting reversals. I have this come up so much that I just feel like I have to address this issue finally. I have been avoiding reversals like COVID. I have been avoiding them. I want no parts of it. But I'm realizing that you guys are having a lot of issues when it comes to learning when to weed out certain trades. So even though you're so focused on all of the criteria being met that is required for you to take that trade, and you're not wrong in it in the technical sense, a lot of you are actually having a hard time critically thinking and analyzing those charts. So I want to try and help weed out some of these bad trades that people are taking by showing you how to spot reversals. There was an example that came up this past week on the 29th actually with one of our members, and he was kind enough to allow me to use this screenshot that you're looking at here. And when it came through, I was like, oh, no, honey. Oh, no, sweetie. Where am I going wrong? Like, what is going on? Why did you take this trade? And then I had to have that moment of reflection as I was recording to send back to him. Why would you do that? I realized, it's my fault. I have not given you guys this information yet because, like I said, I have avoided it, big time. Because I just didn't want you all starting to, take in buys and sells, and I don't know. I feel like when I start bringing up reversals, y'all get so twisted that, I don't even know what you're doing anymore or why, and I feel like you guys don't know why either. You just start taking every setup you see. So I'm not teaching reversals in this. If you are an intermediate to advanced trader, I will start going into this a little bit more in future videos, but you probably already will understand just by how I'm about to show you, how you would do a reversal setup in this. If you are a beginner to just barely intermediate trader, you are not trading the reversals. I will state this again. You are not trading the reversals. You are simply using this video to help you learn how to spot them. I want you guys to be looking at the market in two ways. You already have figured out how to find your entries. You're very good at that. The technical, this all lines up and let me take my trade. You're getting very good at that. But you are looking for so many reasons to enter a trade that you're forgetting to look at why you may not want to enter that trade. That is equally as important when it comes to trading. For every reason you have to enter a trade, you need to be looking at why you may not also want to enter that trade. They weigh evenly. This is a perfect example that came up, which is why I asked to be able to use this markup, because there were so many things happening on a higher time frame, which should be your stronger analysis of the charts, that were signaling that a reversal of some sort was coming. So I had no idea why he decided to still buy. And then I realized it's my fault. It really is my fault because I haven't showed you the things to look out for. So here we go. We're going to go into a bunch of reasons in this chart why I would never have bought where he bought. And the things that in my head, as soon as I saw this, went, oh no, why did you do that? Let's get into it. I also want to just quickly say there are a bunch of things that you can spot as reversals. I'm going to go through a few of them that jumped out at me when I saw this chart, but I would love for you guys to comment below as an educational purpose. Just comment below and write in anything that I'm missing here that I will probably forget because there's so many different things you can use to spot reversals. But I would love to have the comments and then have people just scrolling through. If you don't recognize one of the things that somebody comments as a signal for a reversal, please look it up. Use this as an educational opportunity to share with each other, because I will probably forget when I'm rambling off all of the different types of things you can use to spotting reversals. So if I don't mention it in the video and show you a picture of what that looks like in here, then please scroll through the comments and be like, hey, what is this? Like, what's a doji? What's a kangaroo tail? And do your own homework, guys. Go find out what that means. There's plenty of YouTubers who will show you all of that as well. So if I don't show you a clip of something, this is not the only things you're using to spot reversals, but these were the ones that jumped out at me in this example. Okay, so jumping into this example. So if you guys follow my strategy, I will link the video here. This strategy, whether you are a free or a paid member, regardless of that, this setup would be what you would have seen. I will show you after I'm done on my charts what it looks like, but yes, I understand why he took this setup. This strategy, the quick and dirty version of it, requires you to look here on the higher time frame, which is the 15-minute in this example, and identify the overall trend, look for the overall trend, and then you would drop to an entry time frame, which for him on this is a 5-minute time frame, and then you would be taking your entry, looking for that. You want to be identifying overall trend, which for him, the LMI was telling him it's buy. You're looking in a buyer's market. And then, so he was looking over here for the LMI to turn green and buy. Then waiting for the stochastic to pushing up into a buyer's position. And, that's what he was looking for here. Unfortunately, tell by the video that this is going to be a reversal of some sort. So when I saw this, I initially always do my markups and my analysis on the higher time frame, because the higher time frame is your stronger trend. It's your stronger analysis of what's actually going on in the markets. Candles will tell you a whole story, and their market structure will tell you a whole story. Price action will tell you a whole story. And when you put all those things together, you're able to really be able to tell what is the market actually getting ready to tell us. So that is why when I'm looking at the 15, I'm like, wow, we are not buying anymore. We are done. But I know a lot of you are still learning, or I don't understand. How are we not buying still? For this day, let me clarify for this day, because the market does go up, and I'll show you at the end. But you would have had a massive stop loss on this on a 5-minute to be able to hold through, and that's absolutely insane. If you were trying to day trade this or scalp it on a 5-minute, these are the signals that you were looking for to say, hey, today's a day where they're selling, we're not buying. If you were somebody who's swing trading, the week it just shot up after this, but like I said, we'll get into that example in a minute. I don't want to overly confuse you guys. So the 15-minute, the reasons that I was like, ooh, what are you doing? I am going to show you. So we have a couple of things happening here. One, you see the market coming up, and you have this massive rejection wick that happens here at this price area. When I go and show you the next example, I will show you there is a similar wick that happens at the same price that also has a rejection area. That is number one. Number one is you have a massive rejection wick of that price. They didn't like this price. They said, nice try again. And you can see the market is trying to kind of gain a little more momentum with this candle, this one, pushing up. If you guys watch Arty's videos, you'll know what a 3-line strike is. If you're not, then please go watch that or look into what 3-line strikes are. Basically, it's 3 candles pushing up, or pushing down, and then a reversal candle hits. This is your reversal candle. If you know anything about candles, I will post it here. You have all types of reversal style candles. I will throw a chart up now so you guys can look at them. If you don't know candle reading that well, please familiarize yourself with candles, because candles will tell you so much. So you have a nice strong rejection candle, like I said, with this wick. Then you get another little quick 3 little line strike of the market trying to fake people out, pushing, and then a strong rejection candle that says, no, not happening. Then we actually are starting to look for potential sells at this point. This is why I want to point this out. I wouldn't have bought here, because my analysis on my higher time frame on a 15 says no way. Also, for those of you who like divergence, you have divergence happening here. I will link this also below. This is the Arty Indicator. I know somebody will ask. This is completely free. It's an indicator that was created by a wonderful member. I will flash his name here. The Arty is really nice if you are not good at divergence, to help you pick up on it for you, so you can see that divergence is happening. So you now have 3 different huge things that are happening where I'm like, ooh, I don't know. So you have a rejection of price, a 3-line strike that happens here, and then you have your rejection candle that truly prints. At the same time that your divergence is printing, and your stochastic then starts to show a crossover to the downside, all on your 15-minute. To me, this is all signaling that we are looking to potentially have some sort of a sell or a reversal coming up, not a buy. So when I would drop to my 5-minute, I would not be looking for buys. I would be waiting. One, if you are a beginner to intermediate trader, you are waiting to see what actually happens here. If price gets enough momentum and pushed up out of that zone where it tried to push here and breaks this zone, then you could buy. You could start looking for buys again. You got enough momentum to do it. The buyers have showed up. But you would only be taking trades when it does that, not trades in the middle here. Then you come to your 5-minute. So we're saying, all right, let's see what the 5-minute's doing because that's where he wanted to enter. Your next confluence that shows up on your 5-minute that tells you absolutely do not try to buy here, there is potentially something happening, is that you have now these tweezer tops that print on the 5-minute time frame. This is a perfect tweezer top setup. If you don't know what they are, please stay tuned for my next video. I will go more in depth about them. If you are a member of the Discord, you've probably already seen that video. If you are a YouTuber or you are a moving average person, I will remake that video to be more YouTube friendly. And that will be my next video that I will go into detail because I actually love tweezer tops and bottoms. Since I like indices, they tend to respect the indices well, and I've gotten good at spotting them. Arty also loves double tops and double bottoms. So whatever your preference is for spotting these types of things, that is another way that you could spot it. But in this particular example, these tweezers jumped out at me like, wow. So we had a bunch of things saying we should not be looking for buys here. A reversal or some sort of sell may be coming. So on your actual entry time frame that he wanted to enter in on the 5-minute, you have the tweezers prints, you have your stochastic cross. And at this point in time, your RSI is getting very close to the 50. All of those things would have triggered like, nope, I would not be looking for a buy here. And then, it comes down even more. And if you were trapped in this thinking of, oh, I just looking at the overall trend, I'm not looking at what the market's actually doing. And you were thinking, oh, well, I should be buying according to the basic technical rules of the strategy. That is why this particular member decided to buy here. And he wasn't wrong. It did, like I said, meet all the criteria here and here. And, that was the entry candle. It wasn't wrong. However, all of these other things would have stopped me from even thinking of buying because all this may potentially be is a little bit of a reaction to what's happening here. And the RSI is under the 50. So there was no reason to be looking to buy here in this particular case. So I want to go over this just quickly and just kind of reiterate what you're looking at here. You have strong rejection wick here, strong rejection wick of a price, of a previous tested price that also had a pattern that dropped in the past. And I will show you that here on the 15 minutes. When we look back, you can see where price hits here on this candle on the 15. This is your strong rejection wick that I'm talking about that I was just showing you guys on my actual trading view. You can see previous price hits here. And what does it do? It drops. What does the market like to do? It likes to create patterns because that's how they created it. They like to create patterns. So when price comes up here and has this massive rejection wick, my first reaction is, well, what did it do in the past when it hit that price? It dropped. So I'm automatically at this point when I get this nasty little rejection wick thinking, well, let me think about potentially not looking to buy just yet until it breaks out of that zone to test a different area. But I understand a lot of you guys don't think that way yet, and that's why I want to kind of start showing you like how my thought process works. My next thing would be if I'm waiting to see what happens, see this 3-line strike, like I said, that happens, and then you get that rejection candle that prints. This is a very classic type of style of rejection candle, and you're then seeing all your other stuff start to line up, where you start to then see a fall. So when you go to your actual entry time frame, you'll see you get those tweezers. So that's where you start to say, okay, we failed to come up, push up beyond this price that we were wondering if it was going to push up against. And then you get the classic tweezer top situation where you have one last try to push for a price, but the bears come in and say, nope. They give you a nice engulfing candle, and after that, it just falls. You can see this was the candle that was marked for his entry. So at this point, when he was entering to look for a buy, there was absolutely nothing in this 15-minute analysis or the 5-minute that would make me feel like I was comfortable to buy here. When I'm telling you I want you guys to be looking at as many reasons as why you should be buying, you should be looking for reasons you should not be buying into a trade. This is what I'm talking about. As many reasons as you had, yes, did all your technical stuff line up to take this trade? Yeah, technically it did. But you had just as many reasons to the left prior to that entry candle that he took telling you like maybe this is a bad idea and we should wait to see what happens. And that's all I want you guys to do. I want you to start looking at why you should take a trade and then also why maybe I should not take this trade. And if all those things kind of happen like what I just showed you, you shouldn't take that trade. You need to wait. You need to wait patiently until it gives you a better signal of what's actually happening, which actually happens on the 5-minute chart only 10 minutes later or 15 minutes later. This candle, you get the signal to sell, everything lines up now, and now you can say, okay, we're getting ready to actually sell here because here all this was showing me between my divergence, my rejection wick, my tweezer tops, my 3-line strike that fails to push up. All of those things show you that you are looking for a potential sell. And then you're waiting for the market to confirm it, and then you could have gotten in on your sell opportunity here, which would have allowed you to take that trade. As you can see, it drops a lot. And you would have been able to have that trade. On the 15-minute, I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, well, does it line up on the 15? And you can see it does line up on the 15. It happens a little bit slower, a couple more candles, because like I said, the 15-minute takes longer to confirm a stronger trend. But you could have potentially scalped this little bit of a pullback reversal and just had your stop loss right. Let's see, it would have looked like something like this. You would have entered in on, you met your criteria back here. Either way, you would have entered somewhere like this. Your stop loss would have been right above the line that is programmed with the TDS. If you're using the TDS, if you're doing it yourself and just going off the criteria, you look to the left. But even if you're using the TDS, please look to the left. Make sure it makes sense. Like, where is market been? Where does it like, I like this little wick area, so I probably would have put it like right above there. And then you would be targeting whatever you wanted to target as far as your risk to reward. You clearly get a 1 to 5 here. You could have even held for a long time if you wanted and waited for a 1 to 2. I mean, it looks like you get a nice drop there. You could have done that however you guys wanted. Risk management is not the point of this video, but just showing you that that's how you would have looked at the market to not buy, but you'd be looking for a sell opportunity. What I wanted to show you guys, it doesn't full on reverse, but if you're day trading, this couple of days worth of a drop here that you get. You also see though what happens here, you get another nice signal of a tweezer bottom that happens on a 5-minute time frame again at a major area of support and resistance, which is something that you're looking for, which you can see it happens at this price range, kind of comes down here, which is pretty typical of the market to do. It pushes down just under the area where most people's stop losses are, which is probably right under here, who were buying. And they come down, they grab the liquidity they need to be able to get the market up. And that's exactly what happens. So this is another case. I don't want to do a whole nother example for you and go through that, but this is just to show you what happens. These tweezer bottoms, they printed. When that kind of signal happens and prints like that, you wouldn't be looking to get back in the sell again. You'd potentially be waiting to see what's going to happen for real in this market and start looking for other reasons, like maybe a reversal is coming. And you can see, obviously, that a massive uptrend happened after those tweezers printed. Like I said, I will go more into detail about tweezer tops and bottoms in my next video. So if you want to check that out, make sure you subscribe so that you get the notification when that comes out. That should be out within the next week. And I will show you guys why I truly do love the tweezer tops and bottoms. But I wanted to combine this with like showing you all the other things that happen that you should be looking for in the market and why you need to be critically thinking when you're doing the markups on your chart. You can't just depend on the indicators. Indicators are fabulous. They make your life a lot easier, but you still need to know the basics. I will insert a couple of charts here at the end, just showing you some reversal things to look out for. If you think of anything that I don't put in here, please comment it below because it is helpful for everybody to be able to read through. It may help them also put all together all the pieces and critically think when doing these chart markups. Okay guys, thanks so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!